welcome to week 2, episode 2 of the Whole Story podcast. This is Robbie Woodard, joined again by Jonathan Hill. Jonathan, how are you doing today?
You know what? I just spent Monday at the Masters, so my day turned out a lot better than what I thought it was going to than,
It is.
Monday at work.
It is Masters week. Yeah, and we'll get into that and hear a little bit about that in a second. But just a reminder for those, if you're first time listening, the Whole Story podcast, we tell golf stories, right? And we want to hear good golf stories. We want to hear it from our guests that we have on. We've got a great one today. But yeah, we are brought to you by Best Ball, bestball.com. Again, with the whole concept of telling golf stories. If you check out the site, you'll see things about different favorite holes out there, maybe. Obviously, Augusta National, the Masters this week is up and running, but there's stuff there. But we have the ability to make some custom things for you. So, if you have a hole in one, if you have your favorite hole out there, your best shot, check out bestball.com, get in touch with us. And yeah, that's what we're all about, telling golf stories. But yeah, it's Masters week. I was just talking to these guys before we hit record. Sepp Straka today in the practice round hit a hole in one on number 12. What a great start to the week. Jonathan, let me go ahead and tell my favorite being at Augusta National, being at the Masters memory, because you're going to trump me here in a second. So my first Masters experience, actually, so I've known our guest, I think I just looked it up. It's almost 30 years now that I've known our guest, Donald Taylor. But Donald invited me. He asked me the other day, he's like, did you ever go with me? I said, unfortunately, no. When he invited me back in high school, I had a baseball tournament, so I was not able to go with him. But my first time going was 2006. My in-laws, someone at church offered them some badges for a Thursday round. And so I went with my in-laws to the Thursday round of 2006. But my favorite being at Augusta National, being at the Masters memory, again, it has a lot to do with our guest. I would say is one of the people that I know that knows the most about the Masters and Augusta National. Back in 2016, enter the lottery every year to try to get practice round badges, got them, or tickets, got them that year for Wednesday. And Donald said, I said, what's your advice? Like, how do we experience this thing the best? I was going to take my family, my wife and 2 kids. They were 11 and 9 at the time. He said, do this. Here's what you do. Go get a couple chairs, buy 2 Masters flags. And as soon as you get there, Wednesday, par 3 tournament, everybody loves it. Take those 2 chairs, put them down by the number 9th green. When all the pros are done, have the kids sitting down there, they'll assign the flags. I don't know if you can see the flag that's framed up here behind me. This is Archie's flag. I took it and threw it up for display. He's got every golfer out there that came through. He and Connie Ann got all the golf balls signed. Just for me, having the family there, incredible experience. And then as we were leaving, we're like, you know what, let's get a family picture before we leave. And we asked this gentleman, hey, will you take our picture? He did it, and he was asking the kids, oh, you got a lot of signatures there. Did you happen to get Willett on there? And I was like, I don't know if they got Danny Willett on there or not. I was like, well, you must know him. You asked for a reason. He said, well, I'm his college golf coach. And sure enough, what happens in 2016? Well, unfortunately, number 12 got a hold of the reigning champion Jordan Spieth, and who goes to win it but Danny Willett. So we met the golf coach of the guy that won it later that week. So, but no, just having the kids be able to experience that, get all those autographs was cool. But Jonathan, I don't know if it's today, but tell us your favorite being at Augusta, being at the Masters experience.
So I've been probably 4 or 5 times now. I live in Augusta, Georgia. The first time I went, my buddy who doesn't even like golf wasn't even convinced that I actually wanted to go. And I got an afternoon. It was amazing. Like you're just like wandering around in awe. Last year, my wife and I got to go to the annual event through a hospitality space. I thought that was like the
And that
peak
is
of
what?
everything.
Say, Anwar,
Oh, sorry, annual. I always do that. Augusta National. Oh, right, sorry, amateur women's.
Augusta,
I can't
yeah,
know the.
Augusta
Okay,
National.
it's
Augusta
the amateur
National
women's.
Women's Amateur.
There you
There we
go.
go. There we go. Augusta National Women's Amateur. That's why we have Donald here, because he can help us out with all things Augusta. So that was amazing. I get a call last night. Hey, are you free to go on Monday? I'm like, I probably should go to work. And then they say, it's Berkman's place. Oh yeah, I'm more than available. So today, me and my wife got to go the entire day. We're bussed in the Mercedes bus. I'm trying to make putts on the fake greens out there. I ate at 3 different restaurants. Like it was, a great day. But I would say favorite all time. Last year, my son had never gone. We get a phone call at lunch on Sunday. Hey, is Makai and you interested in heading out? I'm like, of course. So we get down to the course about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday at the Masters. First thing, Tiger Woods is trying to walk up 18. And I got to spend the entire afternoon with my son, his very first Masters experience. We're down at Amen Corner, standing by the tree with all the wires connected to it, chatting up. Everybody else is just as excited to be there. And it's the one thing I really like about it. Everyone acts like a 12-year-old kid whenever you're at the Masters because everyone's having that much fun. So even though like Berkman's is here, I'm gonna say with my son is just a bit up above that.
Yep.
Next year maybe he'll get to go to Berkman's too, and then you won't be able to tell him anything at all the rest of his life. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of like the point of our golf stories, right? And the best
that's right.
ball and the whole story podcast, like it's telling stories. And you made a comment last week. We remember these things because of who we're with. And so I
That's right.
think, yeah, it's just about who we're with. So yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm glad you got to go. I am kind of sad I didn't get a phone call about it, but no, I
I
mean
lost your number. Actually,
taking your
my
wife was
dad is furious. My dad was like, I could fly out from Arizona right now. You're not gonna take me.
that's
So
funny.
don't tell my dad, but I might be figuring out a way to get him here on Saturday. I'm gonna text a couple people and see if they might have a badge. I think he's willing to jump on a plane to come out. So
Yeah,
we'll
I don't
see.
know if you've seen the weather report, but it doesn't look pretty for later in the week. But we'll see. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's stop talking about us. We want to get to our guest. Our guest, and I just realized the hat I'm wearing, right? The Augusta National hat came. It was a gift from Donald, and so I appreciate that. But like I mentioned, one of the guys that I think knows the most about Augusta National and the Masters. I mean, he's got all the stories, and we'll hear some of those. But good friend Donald Taylor. I've known Donald since I think 1994. Started going to school together. I went through high school, went to Carolina together. So Donald, I appreciate you joining us, man. How's how's it going?
Man, I'm glad to be here. Um, it's going pretty good. I've actually had the opportunity to go to the Augusta National Women's Amateur on Saturday.
Nice.
So got to see some action down there. It was a blast. Golf course is in pristine condition right now. Greens are running probably not quite as fast as they will have them for the Masters, but yeah, it was fun to watch the ball take some big hops, first bounces out there. So it was starting to firm up out there. It was really getting good.
Very nice. Well, let me ask you this, and we'll get to your stories and stuff. But one of the big things this year at Augusta National is they've lengthened number 13. They brought the tee box back to where Augusta Country Club. They bought some property years ago from them, and finally expanded. I always thought it'd be funny, and this would have been like perfect Augusta National thing to do is like they play Friday, Saturday round overnight. They come in, take out the trees, and then all of a sudden Saturday they're like 40, 50 yards farther back with a perfect looking new tee box. But what do you think of the new tee box and how they've brought it back? How do you feel about it?
It's definitely going to make the longer hitters actually have to shape their tee shot just a little bit more. I think your shorter hitters can just go ahead and wail at it pretty good, and they'll hit it into the bank, and it'll stop them from going into the trees. But those longer hitters can still hit it up into the trees on the right side. But if they get greedy, they're going to have a much more difficult time getting around the corner. And having played it before, there's a very significant tree limb that hangs down if you don't get it past that corner, and so you have to play underneath that which will make it darn near impossible to hit the green into. So it's going to be interesting. I think for most of the field, it's going to be a 3-shot par 5 now. But your normal long hitters are still going to be able to knock it on into.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I looked at something and there was only like 4 or 5 eagles all last year. So I guess they're just going to make it a little tougher to get that birdie, that sure birdie that they normally have. But I talked about you being one of the people that I know the most, that knows the most about Augusta National and the Masters. Kind of give us a little history. I know you've been going for a long time, right?
This year will be year number 35 straight for me going down there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my family's had tickets for a really long time. It's been a true blessing to be able to take some of my friends down there with me and experience it with them too. That was one of the thrills for me after having been there for so long. I get to take people in with me and show them around and tell them where, Tiger hit his chip shot on 16 and, where all kinds of other great shots have taken place that people have seen on TV.
That's awesome, man. 35 years.
35 years. I haven't done anything hardly for 35 years.
Yeah, it makes me feel really old when I say that too, but
well, yeah.
Yeah.
You started going when you were very young, so we'll give you that.
That's true. I think my first one was the year Sandy Lyle won.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a while since he's been in contention at the Masters. So
yeah, well, he's still out there trying, right? Is he? He's playing again this year.
Yeah, he's going to be playing again this year. Yeah.
Be out there in the suspenders, and that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you've had the privilege of playing it, and so again, we like to bring guests on and say, hey, what's your favorite hole? What's the best shot you've ever had? But I just want to hear your experience playing it. Anything about it. Like we'll kind of open it up. Jonathan, if you got any questions or anything for him as he goes, but just talk to us a little bit about what's it like to play Augusta National.
First tee shot's pretty nerve-wracking, actually. The first time I ever played it, I teed off on the 10th hole. So they were double teeing that morning, and I thought I'd be cute and hit a little 4-wood and try and hook it around the corner. And of course, they're like, you only get one ball. I'm like, okay. So I hook it into the trees, thankfully find the ball, punch it out, knock a 7-iron on, and make a 15-footer for par. And I was like, I can die happy now. I'm good. But the experience is a blast, just to be able to walk the fairways, stand in the spots where so many legends of the game have stood and walked. And it's, walking outside the ropes. There's nothing like actually walking where all those players were, standing where they are, hitting the same putts that they hit, trying some of the same shots that they've hit. It's quite a surreal experience. It's really neat.
Yeah. Well, I guess I failed to mention that Donald is also a very good golfer. One of the better ones I've ever played with, and fun to have on your team during a Captain's Choice tournament. So you playing Augusta National versus somebody like us playing is a little different story. So yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
Robbie has alluded that you might have had
those kind words, but yeah, I've had some flashes of brilliance here and there. Especially out at that golf course. Jonathan,
Robbie's alluded to the flashes of brilliance. Oh, sorry, I skipped for a second. Robbie's alluded to this flashes of brilliance. I'm wondering if you might have had the best 4 holes at Augusta National that no one knows about. Would you mind sharing a little bit about that? Because I'm intrigued if it's real or not, and it sounds real.
The stories are true.
Okay.
I have witnesses, and I definitely have one of my better friends was playing with me that day. And
well, paint the picture for us. Like, tell us.
I'm gonna. All right, I'll start off. So this was an all-day affair. So I started very early that morning, just dropping 2 golf balls and playing on the par 3, just warming up, loosening up. So hit 2 tee shots, get around to the 5th hole, and it's uphill par 3. Just, you got to carry the bunker. There's a little ridge back there. If you hit it on it, it'll spin back down.
And this is the par 3 course.
This is the par 3 course. So
Jonathan, he
and
played the
now
par 3
this
course
hole-
as well, just to make us a little
Sorry,
extra
yeah.
jealous.
This
Right,
hole
yeah, exactly.
no longer exists. The hole is gone now. It's no longer the 5th
Yeah, they
hole.
redid it.
So yeah, they've redone all five of the first holes there. So, but anyway, the second wedge shot I hit, I couldn't see because it's an elevated green. But I get up there and I don't find my second ball, and I'm going, what? Now, the caveat to all this is that it was a 9-inch cup. So it was a big cup, but I didn't see where it went in. So for all I know, it went in dead center. But yeah, it was in the cup when I got up there, which was pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is no one else was there to be able to corroborate that one. So then we tee off, go and play our first round, play it from members' tees. Everything's going great. I started on the back then. So the 9th hole is my last hole. I got a birdie putt on the 9th hole to shoot under par. And I ran it 4 feet by and missed the one coming back. So not only do I not shoot under par, I don't even shoot even par. So that was pretty heartbreaking right there.
You said that's the members' tees, so that's not what we see on TV.
That's correct. That's where the women's AM is played from. The members' tees.
And everybody that's a member there, they take off their green jackets, they go play. Got it. Okay.
Yes, that's where they typically play from. All right, so we go have lunch. Then I come back out, and my buddy's like, "Let's play it. Let's start on 1, and we're gonna jump back to the Masters tees." I'm like, "Let's do it."
Just to clarify, you've now played the par 3 and a round of golf at the Masters, and you have lunch, and then you get to go in the afternoon as well. So basically, like 4 life experiences that we're all wishing we had. That's a good day.
I know. Oh, it was an outstanding day, and it gets better. So this is the greatest golfing day of my life. All right, so I get out there and I'm trucking along, birdie number 2, feeling all good. Make a bogey on number 4, which you said you wanted to play. I heard in the podcast last week. That hole was so long for a par. Yes. It's the shortest par 4 in golf. So, but I bogeyed that one. I'm even par through 6. Hit it in the bunker on 7. Don't get it up and down. Bogey that one. I'm like 30 yards short of the green in 2 on number 8, which is a par 5, and proceed to make a 6. Just boneheaded plays. Then I hit it in the greenside bunker on number 9, and it was a lot firmer than I thought. Nailed the ball 40 yards over the green. It just bounces right into the ball. Big skull and crossbones there. So I make double on number 9. So I'm 4 over. I'm kind of like, whatever. I'm still playing at Augusta. This is awesome.
4 over, Jonathan. 4 over.
Yeah.
This is from the Masters tees.
Yeah, from the Masters.
4 over on 1 hole.
That's not too bad. So I make a nice oily 8-footer that was straight downhill on number 10 for par. Knock a hybrid onto number 11 onto the front of the green. The pin's all the way back left. Got like 75 feet. And I hit a great putt, and it absolutely slams the back of the cup, jumps up in the air, and then falls down in. So I made a 75-footer for birdie on number 11. that putt, if it didn't hit the hole, it might have gone in the creek. So it was kind of funny. Number 12, of course, the famous par 3. I hit it in the front bunker, and I'm thinking this is a pretty easy bunker shot. This is not that hard. I'm in a good spot. It's kind of on the upslope. I hit the lip of the bunker, and it rolls all the way back down past me, behind me on a downslope. So now I'm trying to hit a downhill bunker shot onto basically a dining room table. It was darn near impossible. So I made a 5 without ever putting it into water at number 12. And I'm like all disappointed and upset, just made birdie. And I'm like, man, come on. I'm like, dog it, I'm going to make 3 on the next hole. I'm going to make eagle on 13. I was just determined. and I hit a great drive around the corner, knock a 4-iron on the green, 8 feet under the hole, and make the putt.
Nice.
So
Oh,
I
gosh.
eagled the 13th hole. I'm like, yes, this is not exactly how you would draw it up, but I played aim corner, 1 under. I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. That's fun. Parred the 14th hole, and it was firm and fast. My drive ran out on 15. I've got 236 front
And
edge.
you're 1 under at this point, right?
On the back 9. Yes.
Yeah, on the back 9.
So I'm 3 over. But yeah, I hit a beautiful cut forward into the hole, lands just into the upslope,
On
rolls up
15.
on 15 to like 18 feet, and I drained that one for another eagle. And I've got both of those actually on film, so that's pretty cool to go back and watch those. So I'm like all excited and ecstatic. My playing partner is all going crazy, and he's like, man, I got to get on this action. He's like, it's time for me. I'm gonna make my first ever hole-in-one right here on number 16. Well, unfortunately, he didn't have the honor. I did. And I get up there, and it's a 155-yard shot. I hit an 8-iron just to the right of the hole, and it disappears in the shadows, and none of us could see. And we're going, what in the world happened? And I look over at the tee on 17, and a guy points at me, and then he points down. And we all went crazy. I threw my club, tossed my hat, and I was like, I'm done. I quit golf. It's never going to get any better than this.
Gotta get better.
And my playing partner's like, screw that. You got to finish this round.
Absolutely. It doesn't count, right? Unless you finish.
That's right. So
That's crazy.
I end up grazing the edge on 17. I almost birdied 17, tap that one in for par, and then get up and down on number 18 from behind the green. Made about a 7-8 foot par putt there to shoot 31 on the back 9 with a double bogey.
Wow.
That's making the cut, I believe. I believe that makes the cut right there, right?
Yeah,
That lets you play on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. So I go 40-31, which is crazy.
Wow.
But, talking with some of the pros and some of the other guys, they said, to their knowledge, no one has ever eagled 13, eagled 15, and made a hole-in-one on 16 in the same round.
That's crazy.
Apparently that's my claim to fame right now.
Well, I remember a few years ago. They were saying Dustin Johnson or something like had 2 eagles in a round or something like that, and that was one of the first times, or maybe he got a third. But yeah, I don't think anybody's topping that for sure.
I do remember Phil Mickelson. I think it was 2010 on Saturday when he won that year. He eagled 13, and then he holed out on 14 for another eagle. And then he darn near holed out on 15 for a third straight eagle. So he was 2, 4, 5 under in 3 holes.
Wow.
And in 4 holes, I was 6 under. So yeah, that was a crazy, crazy day.
So Phil, you end up listening to this. If you need some tips, Donald Taylor will include his phone number at the end, just in case you need to figure out how to play the back 9.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's Jonathan, this is our second podcast episode. I don't know if we're going to ever top this.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I did meet Peyton Manning. I was a little disappointed. Peyton wasn't shaking hands at Berkman's. A guy named Brian was there. So maybe if we get to play with Peyton Manning someday. Of course, to be fair, now we have to invite Donald so we don't look like total losers when it comes to playing golf. Because we got to bring somebody that actually looks and knows that they know what they're doing. So
yeah, that's impressive. Donald, man, thanks for sharing that. That's that will be hard to be topped for sure.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that if you're like the rest of us when we play golf, you're like seeing this happen all over again every single time. Like the level of detail, knowing exactly where it is. I mean, what, like even probably down to like what shirt the guy's wearing at 17 whenever he points in the hole. You know what I mean? Like just, isn't it great?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, that's so good.
Yeah. It
very
was
nice.
completely surreal when it was happening, but
Oh, I bet.
yeah, I mean the moments they just kept piling on top of each other, and culminating with that hole in one. It was just pure elation and craziness. I mean, I called at least 7 or 8 people as I'm driving home that night just to try and tell it and relive it again. I was so excited.
That's
Uh,
awesome. Well, cool. Well, yeah, I don't know how we're going to top that, but we do have some what we call the quick nine. Jonathan, you want to kick us off? Donald, we're going to ask
Yeah.
you 9 kind of random because you don't know about it yet, but golf related things, and it is Masters week, so we're going to talk Masters stuff. But Jonathan, you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, so I mean, you've got like 17 holes to choose from, but what is your favorite hole at Augusta National and why?
I love the 11th hole. 11, it's changed quite a bit actually over the last, I would say, 15 years or so. It used to be completely wide open, no trees at all. Then they came back in and tightened the hole up, and they put more trees down the right side. And just 2 years ago, they took a bunch of those trees out and just left 3 lone trees on the right side, pretty much where most of the drives would land. They've actually made it a little bit easier for the membership, um, but much harder. They've lengthened that hole. I think it's 535 now or something like that. It is
Par 4.
absolutely a
I say
hard,
par six,
hard golf
Yeah,
hole.
par
Yeah,
six for
it's
sure.
it's just a short par 5 for most of us.
yeah. Well, I mean, the second shot there, I mean, you got the water there to the left, and everything's feeding that direction, right? And then they made the mound kind of on that right side. So if you miss to the right, then you're gonna have to chip back towards the water. So
And
it's
everything chases towards that water, and it is really fast going that way.
yeah,
They've also elevated the right side a little bit, so that famous chip that Larry Mize hit, you can't hit that shot anymore. You
okay.
can't run the ball in there because it'll hit right into that slope and stop it. So, but
All right.
yeah, also just the view coming down in there, being able to see Hogan's Bridge and then Nelson Bridge in the distance, the azaleas, hole 12. I mean, it's just spectacular. Doesn't get any better than going walking down Amen Corner.
That's amazing. All right. Second question. Here we go. What do you get? What is the Donald Taylor must have from the Masters concession stand?
Man, I got to get a little energy, so I would say some sort of candy bar, a Snickers or Milky Way.
Okay.
Definitely a Powerade Zero, and just a small snack. I don't like to have a whole lot um, at the
Even when you're
turn.
just watching, like, I mean, if you're watching,
I mean, if I'm watching, man, I'm loading up on some egg salad sandwiches
okay, that's
and
what I was
stuff.
going
That
for. That's
stuff's
what I was
legit.
going. Okay, I should have phrased that better. Yeah, if you're
Okay, I
there
thought you meant like
as a
playing
viewer,
versus
no.
okay, spectating.
Yep.
Man, give me some pink lemonade, give me some egg salad sandwiches. They now got chicken salad that's on a sandwich, which is really good too.
Okay.
But yeah, that's and probably some barbecue potato chips.
There you go.
You grab that egg salad, one extra one as you're leaving for the ride home.
Oh, definitely,
All right,
definitely
And it
get one
all
on
it
for the
all
way for
costs
the
you
ride home.
$8 total.
that's right.
Pretty close to it.
The best thing about it. That's great.
Yep.
All right. What is your favorite type of hole? Par three, par four, or par five?
Um, I mean, there's so many great par 3s out there, but I love a good par 5. I think if it's the right distance for you as a golfer, it brings in a lot of risk reward. Trying to go for a green in two, makes you hit 2 really solid shots. It leaves you with strategy. You got to lay up. So I just love a really really good par 5.
All right, good answer. All right, well, if you can play any course in the world, not counting Augusta National, what would it be?
One I haven't played yet that I'm really hoping to one day is St. Andrews. I want to go play the old course. I mean, just to be walking those hallowed grounds where kind of golf got its start.
Yep.
Being able to play those famous holes like the road hole, hit it over the hotel, and then hit it out of the road hole bunker. That would just be so cool.
Yeah, I've been there. I've walked a little bit of the course, crossed the Swilken Bridge, got my picture taken, but did not
Nice.
play it. Did play the Himalayas though, the little putting course off the #1 fairway. That was really cool. All right,
Well, maybe
we'll
you can
take a
take me
trip,
with
D.
you next time.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I say,
Let's do it.
you're just going to be our guide everywhere we go from now on.
Yep.
Who was the better golfer, you or your sister Meredith?
Oh, me.
Oh, we'll have Meredith on next week
Yeah.
as a rebuttal.
Yes.
Our next week's guest,
Please.
yes.
Please. Yeah, exactly. You'll get the exact opposite answer next week.
Jonathan, they are both very good golfers. So
I tell you what, she and I teamed up in the South Carolina Mixed Championship, and we won it a couple years ago. We finished second last year, only because I played terribly. So, yeah, she was definitely the better golfer last year.
no. We will need to get her on sometime, Jonathan. All right.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite golfer all time?
I mean, it's hard for me not to say Jack Nicklaus because he's the guy I grew up watching. My first real memories were of him winning in '86. And that's really what piqued my interest and got me so excited about golf and about Augusta National was that.
Were you there on Sunday in '86?
No, I was too young. '88 was my first year.
Okay.
Now, my parents were too worried about getting their tickets revoked by some little punk kid, yelling in somebody's backswing.
That's funny.
Not a 37-year streak, 35-year streak. So, yeah.
Yep.
When you win the Masters, what
Not
is one
if,
thing you
not
will,
if.
yeah, win. I mean, listen, you've already probably got the best stretch of golf I've ever heard or seen or had anyone talk about. When you win the Masters, what is one thing you will definitely serve at your Champions Dinner?
Wow. That is definitely not a question I was expecting. That's awesome. I mean, just about halfway up the road between me and Augusta is Sheely's Barbecue.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
probably have them come and cater it and just, let them bring all the fixings that they want to. That barbecue is awesome. And
absolutely.
their rice and milk gravy, that's some really, really good stuff.
Some of
Good
that,
choice.
what are they? This the fried cream corn balls.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
special
Can't
guest
beat that
invite
stuff.
for the Champions Dinner. I'll like be a server if you just want me to like. I'll put on a tux, whatever I need to do to just hang out. That'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. All right, Donald, again, you've got a lot of Augusta National knowledge. What is one random thing that we don't know about Augusta National?
There's a lot of random trivia of stuff down there.
What's one thing you could tell us? I mean,
in the champions locker room, they always have something from the previous winner that they keep. So, like if say the year Tiger won it in 2019, he left something behind for them to kind of keep up there. It's just kind of a tradition that they do.
okay. I think I saw a picture of I don't know if this is in the champion locker room, but maybe Scotty Scheffler's wedge or something like that.
That may have been. I know that Phil, when he hit that famous shot out of the trees onto the 13, he left his 6-iron that he hit from the trees.
Okay, should have left his putter because he missed the putt, didn't he?
Yeah, he did miss the putt. At
He
least
should have
he
got a
made the
new one
one
of
coming
those.
back.
Yeah. Any other random things that we need to know about? Or you'll just keep us.
The only palm tree on the golf course is on hole number 4. So I think Jonathan would like to know that.
I
Interesting.
would like to know that.
A palm tree. Where?
I have no
Yes.
idea where.
It's over on the right hand side. Over they've got bamboo over there as well. It's
We were
actually near
there
the TV
last
tower.
year. We were at hole 4 with my son, first time on that course, and some guy lost his ball over in the bamboo. And then we were kind of like trying to stay away and be polite. He grabbed it, obviously took the loss of the shot, and then tossed the ball to a kid. I'm like, dude, you should have been over there. We'd have gotten the
Oh
ball.
man,
Yeah,
that's pretty
that'd have been a
cool.
good one.
That is cool. Interesting.
And last question of the night for you. And by the way, this is definitely going to go on my sports betting. Who will win this year's Masters?
Um, it's hard to bet against Rory right now. Um, he's obviously been the spokesperson for the PGA Tour. Been very vocal about lots of stuff. So I know he's got some pressure on him, not only to win the Masters, to complete the career Grand Slam, but to kind of put his money where his mouth is too, and back up all his talk. But I kind of like Max Homa. I just think he's a guy that's a little more unassuming. He's had a little bit of success there, and I feel like his game's really rounded into shape, and it's time for him to win a major and take that next step.
Very nice. Very
First
likable
major
guy.
at the Masters.
Everybody likes Homa. He's on our list of he'll be on an upcoming podcast. We'll have the reigning master champion, according to Donald Taylor, on our podcast this year.
Perfect.
So, well, that's the quick 9, Donald. We appreciate you being on, but I guess as we roll out of here, I mean, it's Masters week. Jonathan, I got to ask you, who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, I think it's my first year ever doing one of the like fake online. Who do you pick from America? Who do you pick from everywhere? So I'm gonna go as a left-handed hitter. I'm gonna go with Phil Mickelson. He's gonna have the week of his life, and he's gonna bet a lot of money on it. So he's gonna put pressure, and then it'll be bedlam if he wins. And the Augusta National has to figure out if they're gonna invite him back next year because he's no longer part of the PGA Tour. I think that would be a great time. So I'm going with old lefty.
Wow, you might be the only one picking
Probably.
Phil at this point. Yep. Yeah, it is quite the controversy. The live guys coming back and playing, and everything they're saying now. Everybody at least is being nice, but
Insider information.
okay.
The rumor on the course today was that Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods are going to be paired together at some point.
Ooh,
That would be interesting.
Wow, that would be an interesting pair.
Hey, listen, that's made for TV, right? Someone's thinking ratings on that day.
can you imagine the crowds with those two? I mean, they would have them already, but just the crowds with that pairing.
Yeah.
Who would be the poor third guy in that group?
Oh my gosh. The amateur of the
I was
week.
about to say I would hate if an amateur had to be thrown into that group right
Yeah.
there.
Yep. So yeah,
Who you got, Robbie?
I think I'm going to go with Rory. Like you were saying, he's playing really well right now. I mean, my next pick would have been Scotty Scheffler, just because I mean he's solid as well. But I think it's the year Rory finally gets it done. Like you were saying, he's got a lot on his shoulders with one, just kind of being the spokesman for the PGA, especially versus the live stuff. But two, this is the final piece of the Grand Slam for him, and I think the way he's playing right now, I think he finally gets it done. So it'll be fun to watch. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. They get some dry days, but it'll be fun to watch either way.
One more random fact, Robbie.
Yeah, go ahead.
They've never had a Monday finish at Augusta National.
Okay.
Never. So this, with how bad the weather looks, this could be the first time that ever happens.
That would
ever since I moved to Augusta, I was hoping for a Monday finish because there'll be like all these extra badges and no one can go, and I'll get to go watch in the morning or something like that.
That'll mess up media day.
Yeah, there will be a lot of disappointed people not getting to play there on media day.
Having to work instead of getting to play, a chance to play. So anyway, well, Donald, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you being on with us. Jonathan, any final thoughts or any last minute questions that came up for Donald?
No, I mean, other than I don't know if I'm scared to ever play golf with you again, or if I should be like looking forward to it. Like maybe you can teach me how to shoot not 4 over per hole. That'd be great.
Anytime, Jonathan, you just let me know. Trust
We're,
me, I've
I,
played
I'm
with worse golfers.
I'm thinking about a little par 3 course at my house. Maybe the inaugural event will have you over, and we'll be the amateurs. You can be the professional. We'll have a little pro-am day.
Absolutely.
Sounds like fun.
We'll record it. Well, we appreciate it. This is been the second episode of the Whole Story podcast. Again, it's going to be one that is going to be hard to top. Donald, we really appreciate you being with us. And yeah, we'll next week we'll have the recap of the Masters, and we'll be looking forward to the RBC Heritage, another South Carolina tournament. So I know Donald, you probably got some experience with that one as well. Have you played Harbor Town? Might as well ask.
I have. I've played it. It's been a while. It's been a few years ago, but
Of course.
that golf course, is so much harder off the tee than Augusta National.
Yeah.
You can be in the fairway and have no chance of hitting the green. It's really a crazy golf course. But this year, it's like one of those bigger purse events. So it's really going to attract some of the better players. This will probably be the best field that's ever been down in Hilton Head. So it should be an exciting tournament.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, again, appreciate you being here, and appreciate those that are listening. I don't know if you, Jonathan or Donald, have y'all ever heard the what is it called? Smart List podcast. Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Sean Hayes, 3 comedians, actors, do this thing, and they always joke. I think Jason Bateman always says, "All right, listener, here's what we're going to do today," and because he makes fun of the fact that they probably have one listener, which they don't. But I will say that we might have one listener, and it's probably us. So anyway, yeah, I'd say for Jonathan, this is Robbie. This has been the Whole Story podcast, and this week's guest was Donald Taylor. We'll see you guys next week. Have fun watching the Masters.